Welcome to this video on how to identify a research problem. The purpose of this video is to provide guidelines for identifying and writing the first part of the research problem section. How do we define a problem? The Cambridge Online Dictionary defines problem as a situation, person or thing that needs attention and has to be dealt with or solved. A research problem, on the other hand, is defined as a general issue, concern or controversy to be addressed, while a practical problem is usually specific and a solution is expected. A research problem addresses general issues at the basic or fundamental level. In addition, a research problem must integrate concepts and theoretical perspective of the literature into the problem to be addressed. In sum, a research is basically an investigation for finding solutions to scientific or social problems through the use of systematic and unbiased process. What is more important about research is that it is a systematic process of collecting and analyzing new information that will contribute to the body of knowledge. The primary objectives of research are to find answers to a particular problem, to discover new knowledge, to verify previous findings, to determine cause and effect relationships, and to develop new concepts, theories, or scientific tools to solve problems. Any meaningful research starts with a problem. To see or identify a problem for research does not call for any mechanical or a highly structured process orientation. Instead, problem identification is made easy if the researcher has some knowledge of the research domain or has considerable level of curiosity about the issues of interest. A research problem is important because without the problem, there will not be any need for research. That is, a research problem provides the basic foundation for any systematic and credible research. It has been described as the unifying thread that runs through all the elements of the research efforts. For example, a well-defined research problem would naturally lead to relevant research questions and objectives, provide convincing arguments in hypothesis development, and guides the appropriate selection of research design, which means the research problem forms the basis for the interrelatedness of the distinct elements such as research questions, objectives, hypotheses, methodology, findings, and conclusions found in research. For example, a situation or a continued increase in the rate of absenteeism among employees in an organization could imply a practical issue or a problem to be investigated. In essence, a research problem is said to exist when some or all of the following conditions are met. The research problem is current and active. When the current state of affairs differs from the ideal state, and when there is inadequate or absence of any solution. A problem that is not current may not provide a good justification for research, as there is a high chance that the problem would already have been addressed by past researchers. What does it mean when current state of affairs differs from the ideal state? It means a research problem exists when there is a clear manifestation of the problem within a particular organization, industry, or context. Research problem should be potentially disruptive. This kind of research problem is commonly known as practical or managerial problem. This problem gives an opportunity for making practical contributions. A practical or managerial problem may be considered for a doctoral study if it clearly leads to some negative impacts. However, the impact of the problem need not necessarily be huge, but it must be observable. A problem is considered worthy of research if solutions are inadequate or unavailable. Solutions are considered unavailable when there is no documented evidence in the literature to show that solutions have been prescribed. A research problem is also said to exist when some findings are found to be controversial or contradictory. For example, when previous studies demonstrated the model tested as having both significant and not significant effects. This could indicate a need for introducing a mediating or moderating variable, which would cause a more valid and reliable outcome. This kind of research problem is commonly known as theoretical problem, which presents an opportunity to make theoretical contribution. Therefore, for a research problem to be considered worthy of a doctoral study, the problem must be both practical and theoretical. A practical problem presents an opportunity for making practical contributions. In any research, the section on practical or identifiable problem that needs solving must be presented before the problem statement section. Discuss the practical or managerial aspect of the research problem explicitly and elaborately in the introductory section of a research proposal or thesis. Present the analysis of the practical problem very clearly and justify why the study is important. Explain the nature of the problem broadly and then narrow it to the scope of investigation or aspects of the study you expect to make the contributions. Discuss how and why the proposed problem is relevant for such research. Present current and adverse consequences of the problem. For example, you may ask the question, what might happen if the problem is not solved? Using the following guides to write the section, focus your writing on the analysis and synthesis of your observations, experiences, expert views, and opinions that justify the existence of the problem. Make sure your discussion is clear and convincing. Make the readers acknowledge the problem at hand and feel that the solutions to the problem is important to them. At this point, cite only sources from non-empirical publications like newspapers, magazines, business and statistical reports to support issues related to the existence of the problem. Where available, present data and tabulate the information to verify the existence of the problem. Avoid any literature review and use of theory when explaining the practical problem of your study. Instead, only use current information and data that support the practical problem and your curiosity or interest. Thank you for watching. If you find this video useful, please subscribe, share, comment and like so that more of similar videos can be created.